Alright, so hi guys, it's another day of Artmas, another day of facts and paper ASMR. Now this, ironically enough, has nothing to do with art, but does anything, really, on my channel, besides the art in the background, obviously, but this is something I really want to talk about. Now, I've kind of wanted to make a video like this for a while, but I don't know, I couldn't find good enough examples, and I couldn't think of good enough things to like, just put into perspective with this, right? And it's very simple, and it's let kids be kids, okay? I am seeing this very disgusting trend. Hi, by the way, if you're new here, my name is Michelle Marquez, or TwistedDisaster, and I make art rambles, commentary rambles, book rambles, random things here and there, rants, tags, videos, whatever, speed paints. But I also, I care a lot about kids, okay? I wanted to be a teacher for a long period of time, and then I actually wanted to be a child psychologist for a long time. And now I'm an artist, see where you come from. But I did work in the public school system for multiple years. I have been a babysitter for multiple years. And it really wasn't until really recently, and I do mean recently, I was around a group of about 7-year-olds, and it's been many, many years because almost none of my friends have kids. If they do, they're young kids. And seeing these little kids act like little kids after not being around little kids in such a long time, because, six-packy round boy, you gotta be safe, I forgot how, happy they can be. You know what I mean? And how things are very different. And it really got me thinking about... well, the sum of this video was there was a TikTok going around of these grown people, these grown adults, watching this clear child. I don't know the age because the child, thank God, doesn't show their face. Where they were unwrapping some presents early on TikTok. And, oh my God. Oh, I got so mad, okay? I got so mad seeing these show up on my For You page because there were so many people being like, I'd beat that kid. Oh, wow, what a spoiled brat. Oh, wow, if that was my kid, oh, I would beat him. Oh, I would curse him out. Oh, these are why kids shouldn't have things. Oh, I can't believe when I'm sitting here with that fresh memory of those little kids in my head and how they were acting and stuff and how just, kids are in general, it really made me realize that people who don't have little kids or are around little kids often, you know what? You need to shut up. You just don't know how to act, right? Because here's the thing, right? Are there spoiled brats out there in the universe? Yes, there will always be, okay? But I seem to think that grown people, because I really want to curse, but I'm going to try not to, they do not understand when a kid is being a kid, okay? And a kid doesn't understand things. Little kids ain't going to understand Six Spiky Round Boy. No matter how hard you explain it, they're not going to get it, okay? Little kids are not going to fully understand the value of things. Oh, well, when I was a kid, good for you. You were one of the rare numbers, okay? Not everyone was in a privileged place or an underprivileged place to where they were the extremes on both ends, all right? When I was younger, I know people don't like when I do this, but it's ironic that I form my opinions off of real-life events and instances I've experienced or heard about. When I was younger, we didn't really have a lot of portable, expensive electronics like we do now. They did exist, but they were not as common. Besides like a Game Boy and an Advance and stuff like that, they were not as common. Not every kid had one, not all this and that. But you know what? Some kids did have. Some kids are bratty. Some kids are disappointed when they didn't get what they're seeing. And with these kids growing up on social media, they're going to understand more expensive things than they would have when I was a kid. I found, this was about a year ago, but I found a journal of mine, all right? From when I was in middle school, like young middle school, like probably 6th grade. And so, by the way, age range, that would be anywhere between like 10 to 12, right around that age range, just so you can keep in mind, right? And I found like an old journal of mine that I used to get. It was terribly written, but I found it and I read it, and I was so angry. I was so angry that my parents bought me a giant iPod instead of the iPod mini. And reading this as an adult, I was so ashamed of my younger self because I remembered that feeling. I remembered seeing all the kids in my middle school with these cool iPod Nanos that were all colorful and unique and different, and how much I wanted that. I wanted that. And how when I told my parents and when I opened up my gifts, I was still grateful because it was a gift and I was raised to be grateful. In my head, I remember being like, oh, it's not the cute little Nano. It's a giant iPod. And my dad once told me, he's like, listen, this is going to hold enough music to get you through college. And you know what? My dad was right. That thing lasted me forever, and I still have that giant thing. And I loved it. I did love it. But rereading that journal, I remember, that's right, I was pissed when I got that. And you know what? If I was a kid back then who had a TikTok, if TikTok existed back then, I probably would have posted that behind my parents' back as like a journal thing because I was a kid being stupid and being like, oh, I'm so mad that I didn't get the one I wanted. And keep in mind, you can sit here and you can say, I was never like that. I was like every kid was at one point in time or not. You just might not realize it, okay? Kids get jealous and envious just like adults do. But they also will not fully understand something. In that same sense, though, okay? Do not take away a kid's childhood by informing them how ungrateful they are, by informing them how much something cost. You should teach them basic values, I remember, like, reading this when I was doing research back in college, I read up a story of this person talking about how they understood the value of things and how they teach the value of things to, like, younger kids. And it was something along the lines of, oh yeah, I loved this thing and it broke and my parents didn't have the money to just replace it. And I had to sit with the fact that I broke that thing and I didn't know if I was going to get it back and it was gone. And so that person was talking about when they had kids in the future, they had something similar happen where their kid, I think it was a PS2 or something, I can't remember the exact thing, but it was a younger kid who had a PS2 or a PS3 or something. Or maybe it was a Wii. It was some kind of console, but it wasn't like a next gen, you know what I mean? And it was a little kid, and they had like put peanut butter in it or something. And they loved it, and then it broke, and she had to explain, I'm not going to buy you a new one right away. I cannot afford that. You broke it. You need to understand the value of it, and for sometimes you need to tell kids that. And but you also need to understand age range. Obviously, if you tell that to like a 6-year-old maybe would understand. 4-year-old, they probably won't get it. Probably won't understand the same thing. And so you need to teach value in things and respect. This is true. But you also need to understand a kid's going to be a kid, okay? And you can't tell the kid, all right, oh, this cost mommy and daddy, or mommy or daddy, or whatever non-binary people call themselves. I know people have said that they like being called like Rennies or something. Rennies, that, oh yeah, this cost us like 4 or 5 paychecks. Oh, wow, I bought that, so it's mine now. Oh, because then that messes up kids in other ways. My husband's a perfect example of that. His father was one of those people, and he always took really good care of his stuff, but his father would always be like, well, I bought it, so it's mine. Okay, that's not really yours. Because it's mine, because I paid for it, because I paid X amount for it. Because then you just have kids feel like trash because of something that they wanted, all right? Now, do I personally believe that a little kid should be running around with a brand new iPhone and a brand new Galaxy? No, get them a couple generations later, because they're going to be kids. I'm an adult, and I constantly drop my phone, okay? But in that same vein, we are living in an age now where, you know what, kids kind of need phones. I'm sorry. I used to be that parent, and I used to be that person that was like, you know what, no, my kid ain't getting a phone till middle school, because that's not when I got a phone. But that's not how things are anymore, okay? But that is expensive. So again, teach your kids value because they are children. And people seem to forget, and I blame a lot of media for this, because I was also watching, ironically enough, a TikToker, where it was a TikToker talking about how much she loved Korra, or how much they loved Korra, and they were talking about how much they liked, they liked the story differences, they liked the villains, and they brought up Milo, right? Anybody watch the Legend of Korra, you know who Milo is, and I remember I used to be like, oh, I hated that little brat. Well, they went through and they ended up making a follow-up TikTok explaining why. And they explained how, each of Tenzin's kids is a different attribute of Aang. You know what I mean? And Milo is a kid acting like a kid. He's weird, he's loud, and he's obnoxious. And I felt so dumb. I felt so dumb hearing that. Because in my head, I'm like, that's just an annoying little kid. I cannot stand that character. I don't know why they wrote him. That's so blah, blah. And then, hearing that TikTok, I literally felt like an idiot. Because I'm like, wait, that is how kids act. That is a kid playing a kid. Because in so much media, in so many cartoons, in so many movies, and so many things, we do not let kids act like kids. Or the kid has to have the tainted innocence stuff, okay? And to mess with this even more, a really good example when I was writing down notes and thinking about this for this video is how much our perception of things do not transfer well to reality. And a perfect example I can think of right now is when they made the Kim Possible live action movie. I loved Kim Possible when I was a little kid and I was a little teenager. Loved it. When they made the new movie, the live action Disney movie a couple years ago, everybody was so weirded out with how young they had the actress and actor for Kim and Ron and the people be. And I'm sitting here like, Kim Possible is 16. So they hired 16-year-olds to play kids. They didn't hire 30-somethings with tiny builds. They hired children to play the role of children. Say it again. They hired children to play the role of children. And in a lot of media, okay, they tend to have kids not voiced by kids either, which I understand. There's legal reasons. There's laws behind it. I do not want child actors being taken abused of. But they are adults putting on to kids. And half the time they're having kids being either to the extremes. They are either dumbed down or so adult because they want everyone to understand it instead of be like, no, kids are kids. We're going to write these kids like kids. We're going to give them, personalities of a 30-year-old that's been emotionally broken and damaged and, cynical about all of life. And then you have the, couple people are like, well, I was that kid. I was this and that. It's like, I am sorry that was you, and I am truly sorry that you had to go through that and you had to lose your innocence in such a way. I genuinely mean that. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being, hyperbolic here. I do mean that. I think a loss of innocence is a terrible thing in multiple things. And when parents do it purposefully on their kids, I think it's disgusting. All right? But in that same vein, you have these people, usually adults, who are judging kid actors acting like kid actors. And I think another really good example of this is anime. Hi, I'm an anime fan here. But, so many of it, I'm going to use my startup anime, all right? My biggest anime that got me into anime was Naruto. I knew the characters were 12 because they constantly talked about it. But me, as at the right around range of, I think I was 14 when it started, I didn't really put into perspective all the stuff they were putting on children. And is it a fun, stupid show? Yeah. Do I think it needs to end? Yeah, but think about that now. If they were to transfer that into live action, you would be seeing 12-year-olds running around killing each other. and stabbing each other and doing magic jutsu and stuff because they are supposed to be 12 in this world. But in the world and the fiction, the kids are not actually 12 years old. Mentally, they're like older teenagers. You know what I mean? Like borderline adult going through all these terrible traumatic things. They're not kids. And you see that a lot, and it's something that I'm kind of sick and tired of. And I'm sick and tired of people ragging on kids for being kids and acting like kids and telling kids to grow up and getting mad at that because you're not around kids enough to be like, oh yeah, that's just how a kid acts. Oh no, instead your brain goes, oh god, I can't stand that, I hate it, I wish I'd never seen it, I don't know why they wrote this character, why couldn't they be like this character that, you know, is a tiny genius who is like supposed to be 10 and they can write 9 to 15 novels and have a college doctorate. Why can't we have kids like that? Because that's not a kid. So my rant's done, but let me know if I'm alone here because I'm kind of sick and tired of it. And like I said, I was ashamed in myself for falling into that trap, and I'm going to keep a more open eye to that to when I see characters that are actually annoying or if they're like actually supposed to be a kid. You know. Same with kids online. I'm so worried about kids online these days because you have these grown adults making fun of little kids. And, well, they shouldn't be on that. Oh, and they shouldn't. You're right. They shouldn't, but they are because that's the age we live in. I'm sorry. You as the adult should be the bigger person here. All right. There's my rant. There's my ramble. Thank you as always to my Patreon patrons. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And comment and feed the bot. It helps so much. And as always, guys, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.